Imagine a world stripped of sound. A world where civilization has collapsed and nature has taken back the cities. A world where you cannot talk, you cannot laugh, and you definitely cannot scream. Because in this world, if you make a sound, you die. Welcome to the recap of the critically acclaimed sci-fi horror masterpiece, A Quiet Place. In this post-apocalyptic nightmare, Earth has been invaded by terrifying extraterrestrial creatures. They are heavily armored, incredibly fast, and indestructible. But they have one weakness: they are blind. They hunt solely by using their hypersensitive hearing. They have wiped out most of the human population, leaving only a few survivors who have learned to live in absolute silence. Today, we follow the harrowing journey of the Abbott family as they navigate this silent hell, proving that even in the darkest times, the will to protect your family is the strongest weapon of all. Spoilers ahead. Let's get into the story.
The movie opens on day 89 of the invasion. The atmosphere is eerie. We see a deserted town where the traffic lights are still blinking, but the streets are empty. Cars are abandoned with their doors open, and weeds are growing through the concrete. We are introduced to the Abbott family: the father, Lee, the mother, Evelyn, and their 3 children, Regan, Marcus, and the innocent youngest child, little Bo. They are scavenging for medicine and supplies inside an abandoned pharmacy. Notice carefully how they move. They are all barefoot. Walking without shoes on soft sand reduces noise. They use sign language to communicate because the eldest daughter, Regan, is deaf. In a cruel twist of fate, her disability has become the family's greatest survival tool. As they prepare to leave, little Bo finds a toy space shuttle on a shelf. He reaches for it, but his father, Lee, panic-stricken, gently takes it away. He removes the batteries and signs to his son, explaining that the toy makes noise and noise is dangerous. However, Regan, trying to be a kind sister, secretly slips the toy back into Bo's hands when their father isn't looking. Tragically, she doesn't realize that Bo has also swiped the batteries. The family begins the long walk home through a forest path. They have poured lines of sand along the road to muffle their footsteps. Bo is walking at the very back of the line. Innocent and unaware of the danger, he inserts the batteries and flips the switch. Beep, beep, beep. The electronic sound pierces the silence like a gunshot. The entire family freezes in pure horror. The father, Lee, drops his bag and sprints toward his son with desperation in his eyes. But these creatures are too fast. From the dense forest, a dark, spindly monster tears through the trees. Before Lee can reach him, the creature snatches the boy. In a split second, Bo is gone. Lee screams silently in agony, and the screen cuts to black as the family stands broken in helpless devastation.
The story jumps forward to day 472. More than a year has passed since the tragedy. The family now lives in an isolated farmhouse surrounded by cornfields. They are still grieving Bo's death, but the guilt weighs heaviest on Regan. She blames herself for giving him the toy, and she feels that her father blames her too. We see the extreme, almost paranoid measures they take to survive. Inside the house, they walk on floorboards marked with paint. These are the safe spots that don't creak. They eat dinner off soft lettuce leaves instead of crunchy porcelain plates to avoid the sound of cutlery. In the evenings, they play board games like Monopoly, but they have replaced the metal pieces with soft cotton balls. It is a sad attempt to live a normal life in a nightmare. Lee is a survivalist. He has turned the basement into a command center. He uses a radio to scan for other survivors, but he only hears static. On a whiteboard, he has written notes about the creatures: blind, attack sound, and the most terrifying question: what is the weakness? He is also constantly trying to repair a cochlear implant for Regan, using scavenged spare parts. He gives her a new one, but she pushes it away, frustrated that nothing works. Their relationship is straining. Here, we learn a crucial, terrifying detail. The mother,
Evelyn is pregnant. In any other world, this would be joyous news, but here, it is a death sentence. Childbirth is loud, babies cry. How can they possibly bring a noisy newborn into a world that demands silence? We see Evelyn preparing a soundproof room in the basement. She has even built a wooden box with an oxygen mask for the baby, so she can close the lid and muffle its cries while allowing it to breathe. Later, Lee takes his son Marcus to the river to check the fishing traps. Reagan wants to go, but Lee tells her to stay home and help her mother. Reagan is heartbroken, believing her father doesn't want her around. At the river, they reach a massive waterfall. The water crashes down with immense power. Lee turns to Marcus and speaks in a normal, loud voice. Marcus is terrified, but Lee explains a key rule of physics. Smaller sounds are hidden by bigger sounds. Because the waterfall is louder than their voices, they are safe here. Under the roar of the water, they scream together, a release of all their pent-up fear and frustration. It is a powerful moment of bonding.
Back at the farmhouse, Evelyn is alone. She is carrying laundry bags up from the basement. As she walks up the wooden stairs, one of her bags gets snagged on a nail sticking out of a step. She pulls the bag free, but in doing so, she accidentally pulls the nail up. It is now sticking straight up, exposed and sharp, a ticking time bomb waiting for someone to step on it. Moments later, Evelyn feels water running down her legs. Her water has broken. The baby is coming early. She breathes heavily, trying to control the pain. She walks towards the basement stairs. She takes a step down, and her bare foot slams directly onto the exposed nail. The nail drives deep into her flesh. She gasps in shock, dropping a glass picture frame she was holding. Crash! The sound shatters the silence. It is deafening. Evelyn clamps her hand over her mouth to stifle a scream, but she knows it's too late. She immediately flips a switch on the wall. Outside the house, the white string lights turn red. This is the emergency signal. The monsters are coming.
Lee sees the red lights from the cornfields and starts sprinting back to the house. Inside, a creature has already entered. We hear its clicking sounds as it uses echolocation to hunt. Evelyn manages to limp to the bathtub upstairs. She is in active labor, bleeding and in agonizing pain. This is one of the most intense scenes in horror movie history. Evelyn is lying in the tub, sweating and trembling. Behind her, in the shadows, the creature slowly creeps into the bathroom. It is inches away from her. She has to push the baby out, but she cannot make a single sound. Just as the monster is about to strike, Lee signals Marcus to set off fireworks outside. Boom! The fireworks explode in the sky. The loud noise confuses the creature. Using the noise of the fireworks as cover, Evelyn finally lets out a scream and gives birth to a baby boy. Lee finds them later, exhausted but alive, and moves them to the soundproof basement.
The family is separated again. Regan and Marcus are trapped on top of a grain silo. Marcus falls through a hatch and lands in the corn inside. The corn acts like quicksand, sucking him down. To make matters worse, a creature jumps into the silo with him. Regan jumps in to save her brother. They are cornered. The monster prepares to attack. But suddenly, something strange happens. As the monster gets close to Regan, her new hearing aid starts emitting a piercing, high-pitched frequency. The creature stops. It shrieks in pain, clutching its head. It hates the sound. The monster smashes through the silo wall to escape the noise. The kids are confused, but relieved. They have unknowingly discovered the weapon they need. The kids run toward an old pickup truck to hide, but the creature returns. Lee arrives and attacks the creature with an axe, but the monster swipes him away, injuring him badly. The creature then turns its attention to the truck where the children are hiding. It starts tearing the roof apart. Lee stands up. He is weak bleeding, and he knows he cannot physically defeat the monster. He looks at his daughter, Reagan, through the windshield. For the first time, Reagan sees the love in her father's eyes. Lee raises his hands and signs, "I love you. I have always loved you." Then he takes a deep breath and lets out a massive, guttural scream. The monster immediately turns away from the kids and attacks Lee. Lee sacrifices himself so his children can escape. The kids release the truck's handbrake and roll back to the house, sobbing in heartbreak.
The remaining family members, Evelyn, Regan, Marcus, and the baby, retreat to the basement. But the nightmare isn't over. A creature follows them down the stairs. It corners them in the small room. There is nowhere left to run. Regan looks at the monster, then at her hearing aid. She remembers the silo. She realizes the connection. The frequency from her implant is the key. She takes the device off and places it on a microphone connected to a sound amplifier. A piercing, high-pitched screech blasts through the speakers. The creature screams in agony. It collapses, disoriented. Its armored headplates peel open, exposing the soft, pink flesh underneath. Evelyn sees the opportunity. She racks her shotgun. Bang! She shoots the monster directly in its exposed face. The creature drops dead instantly. Silence returns to the room. They look at the CCTV monitors. 2 more creatures are running toward the house, attracted by the shotgun blast. But this time, the fear is gone. Regan smiles slightly and turns the amplifier volume up to the maximum. Evelyn looks at the screen, her eyes filled with rage and determination, and cocks her shotgun again. Fade to black.
And that is the end of A Quiet Place. The movie ends on a cliffhanger, but the message is powerful. The humans have finally found a weapon. They are no longer the prey. They are now the hunters. This film was a massive global hit because it turned sound, something we take for granted, into a source of pure terror. What would you do in this situation? How long do you think you could stay silent? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this detailed recap, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more movie explanations. Thanks for watching.